Did you know that Google personalizes many searches by city and Also Asked is the only tool to access live People Also Asked data at city level? Try for free at alsoasked.com.
Tired of SEO guesswork? Quadra's AI agent goes deeper to uncover high-impact optimizations and completes hours of SEO in minutes. Get started now.
I was going to say that SEO with Fat Joe is as peaceful as this, but then the birds are all having fights.
Hello everybody, and welcome. So I've spoken at Brighton a few times, and this is by far my most, I'm so excited being on this track because it's success and productivity. You wouldn't be here if you didn't want success and productivity. Well, we all want to do more. But the thing is that when you try to be successful and do more, often what happens is you burn out. And today I want to try and show you a way that is a different way of doing things that will give you a different story, a story that I hope you appreciate more and want more than what you currently have. So let's start. Who am I and why should you even listen to me? So I am a coach. I work with people in the space of tech to accelerate their careers and have more meaningful lives. And I do that through my coaching program and the SEO Mindset podcast, which I am really, really happy to say turned 3 years old yesterday. So can we say? So I co-host it with my dear friend Sarah McDowell, and we are so excited that it's 3 years old and listened to in many, many countries. So that's who I am. So I know a little bit about what I'm about to tell you. So what we're going to cover is what is success, what I call the success trap, how I broke free from that, and hopefully in the next bit, the 3 steps, I will show you that how you could also break free if you so choose, and then we will wrap up, and there is a download that will help you take step 1 of the 3 steps. So, and at the end, hopefully you'll have some tools, some strategies, even if I provoke a thought in your mind, I'm happy with that. What is success? It's such a strong word, and we are all happy to say that word, but what is it? And in true SEO world terms, it depends. It really depends on who you are, what you want, like you said, what your values are, and what stage of life you're at. So, it's personal, we know that. And for me, this is what it is. It's where my life is aligned, where my goals, my strengths, my values are all in sync. I feel like I am flowing. I don't feel like I'm bashing into walls all the time. It sounds simple, and it is, but why is success so difficult to achieve? Because if I asked you to raise your hand, are you 100% successful? Are you really completely 100% with where you are? Most people would say, no, I want more. That's because perhaps you're in the success trap. And this can look like different things. So as I go through these slides, just want you to think about whether you're in that part, and if you feel comfortable, raise your hand. You're chasing, like you said, somebody else's definition of success. Who feels like that? You're constantly chasing the next milestone. I will be successful when I have a house, when I have a kid, when my kids move out, when I lose this job that I really wanted in the first place, blah, 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 blah. It goes on and on and on. When you're relying on somebody else to tell you you're successful, when your manager says, oh, you did really well, then you think you did really well. Or when your mother says you did really well, then boy, you're really doing well then. Right? When you're prioritizing achievement over alignment, I'm going to take that course. Do you want to take that course? Is it going to lead you where you want to get to? But no, I want to do the course, and I will then write the course, and I will post on LinkedIn that, hey, I did the course. You don't believe you have permission. This is a biggie. I see this so much with my clients. They are just on this hamster wheel, refusing to get off and think, actually, I'm okay. So, raise your hand if some of that resonated, and are you in the success trap? Who wants to get out? Okay, I too. I was there and I got out. So way back in lockdown where everybody's lives were different, my life was also very different. I was in the SEO team at Argos. We were one of the few retailers that could actually sell. I was working really hard, and I was helping the HR team with their learning and development platform. And unfortunately, my mother-in-law was very, very poorly, and there were no carers. So alongside a full-time job and a part-time helping with HR and a lot of hours doing caring, I was burnt out. So all sorts of burnout. And this book, if you've not read it, Feel Good Productivity, it's really good. You read it? It's really good, isn't it? And Ali Abdaal talks about 3 types of burnout, where you're overexerted, so you're doing too much, you're depleted, you've not taken care of yourself, or you're misaligned. You're doing things, you're going in a direction that isn't the right direction for you. So when my manager said, hey team, everyone's got to take time off, and people say, oh, what's the point of taking time off? I've got nowhere to go. I thought, okay, if I could go anywhere, where would I go? And it would have looked a bit like this, right? I wanted to go to Kerala, to a yoga retreat, and go to bed and crisp sheets, and maybe even have turn-down service. I know it sounds stupid, but I get really excited when there's turn-down service. And I thought, okay, I can't go to Kerala. I'm going to create Kerala. I live in Milton Keynes, but I've got really good imagination. I bought myself coconut water, and I created myself like a retreat schedule. I was going to get up, and I was going to do yoga, and I was going to meditate, and I was going to journal, I was going to go for walks and have lunches, and I did all of that. Monday was lovely. In fact, I started from Friday night, signed off, I was in Kerala. So I did all of that Monday, Tuesday, and those first 2 types of burnout were beginning to diminish because I was relaxing, I was recharging, I wasn't overexerting. And the other thing I was doing a lot of was journaling, because my journey with self-awareness and self-exploration started many moons ago, and I love journaling and just thinking about who I am and all of that great stuff. But then on Tuesday evening, my manager rang me and said, Tazmin, tomorrow there is a meeting you must attend. So I did. And to my horror, it was a restructuring meeting. And I was looking slide past slide plus slide, and then it got to the SEO team, and it said, oh, this particular role is going offshore, and my stomach dropped because it was me. My role was being sent somewhere else, i.e., I was not going to have a job at Argos. I cried a lot. I got angry a lot. And that day, I was on this emotional roller coaster that was not fun. And the next day, I thought, okay, I can either carry on crying or I go back to the retreat. And I chose to go back to the retreat, but the focus was now different. What if this was a new opportunity? What if I looked at my life, because yes, I was in the world of tech, and yes, I never got fired from a job, so I think I did pretty well at all of them. But did I love it? No, because I really loved learning and development, and any chance that there was a chance, opportunity to do that, I said, me, I'll do that course, I'll go and do it, or I'll teach that thing. And if there's anyone in here who really wants to do a thing and is waiting for somebody to recognize that in them, don't. Just go and do it, because nobody's going to take you as seriously as you can take you. So I then carried on journaling and reflecting, and I thought, what would a life without burnout look like? And I drew up this. I wanted to write, I wanted to speak, I wanted to teach. I wanted to carry on my spiritual journey. I also wanted to go on holiday, okay? I am human, right? And I wanted to make an impact. And in the middle, I've written, I've drawn up my business card, Tazmin Suleman, coach, speaker, and author. That's the vision of what I wanted to create and what I'm really... Actually, you know what? You said something beautiful, because I was telling you that my children say, oh, Mum, calm down. And you said, don't let your children humble you. So there you go. This is what I have. I have a coaching program. I have a podcast with my wonderful friend, Sarah. We do a live podcast every Brighton with our friend Jack. Last month, I recorded Whiteboard Friday at Moz. I speak at events. I collaborate with great people in the industry. And I speak, to charities. I help anybody who wants to be helped. You've got a problem, come call me, really. I've got time. Right? So that's the reality of what my life looks like and more. I'm just going to say it. It's not in my slide deck. I've never been happier than I am now, ever. So how did I get from there to here? I'm going to take you through the steps. And while we're going through the steps, whatever it is that you want to do, don't just listen to me. Take this moment to do a little bit of reflecting on who you are, because I want you to get something really valuable from it, right? Okay, define who you are is the first step. If you don't know who you are, you don't have that foundation to build on. Take intentional action, and I will also be sharing where I messed up, and that definitely was one where I messed up. And set yourself up for success, because there are lots of things that can distract you and lots of things that can drain you, right? So step number 1, who are you? How do you figure that out? Because you are so many things. You've got your story, you've got your inner chatter, you've got your belief system, there's so many elements of you. And I want you to think about how many times you ask yourself questions, as opposed to, think of something you really love. It could be your best friend, it could be your child, it could be your sibling, and they come and say to you, guess what, I've met this new person and I really love them and I'm going to spend the rest of my life. You'd ask them questions. If my child came, they're all sorted now, but I'd want to ask them, who are you? What are your values? I wouldn't ask them directly, obviously. I'd find a way of finding out, because I really want to know who that person is. If a new team member joins your team, you'd want to ask them, so what is it that you like doing? Blah, 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 blah. How many people ask themselves questions about themselves? About a quarter. It's really exciting. I love doing it. So, how do you find out more about yourself? There are frameworks. I love doing this. So I do this round about Christmas every year. I make a thing about it. I get popcorn, I wear comfy pajamas, all of the rest of it. And I do a full year review. So I get my journal, my calendar, my phone, I gather all of my data of the last year and figure out what is it that I enjoyed that I want to do more of, what is it that I hated that I never want to do again, what is it the thing I wanted to do but I didn't get round to. And then you start categorizing it. We get that, right? We gather data and we categorize it, and then we get insights from it. So health, career, all of the things that are important, start categorizing it. And then ask yourself, what are you proud of? What is the thing that you would want to change about your life? So on and so forth. I've just noticed the time. Goodness me, I'm going to speak a bit faster. Another way to do it is Ikigai. So if you have never done this, there is a QR code. It will take you to me talking about how to go through the Ikigai process. And if you watch about mid part, you'll find something out really weird about me. But interesting. Okay. Ikigai is another way of figuring out who you are. Ask yourself what your dreams are. This is a diagram of my coaching business that I drew up maybe 12, 13 years ago. And I kept on looking at it, folding it up, putting it away. reopening it, folding it up, putting it away until that event. And then I took it open and now it doesn't get folded away. How I was going to have talks and coaching and workbooks and a website. And I'm I'm not far back, I'm pretty much there now. So what are your dreams? Because when you ask a kid, what are your dreams, they know. Yeah, we do know. Just give yourself that space to listen to what it is that you want to do. Create yourself an exciting vision that you want to get out of bed for. Because if you know who you are, that's the key to being successful. When we say it depends on who you are. Number 2, this is where I really went wrong. Take intentional action. Set clear goals. If you were hungry and you went to a restaurant and said, I'm really hungry, give me some food. And they said, what do you want? I don't know anything, just give me some food. I need some food. And they put a salad in front of you and you didn't want a salad. You wanted steak and chips, but you didn't say that. But if you had given yourself time and said, oh, actually, I want something warm and I want something non-veg and I want something fried, by slowly giving yourself the space to understand what you want, you'd get closer to setting clear goals. So if you say, I want more money, do you want £1? Do you want, because I can give that to you today. Do you want $1 million? Depending on what your answer is, will impact what actions you take, right? And then align it. So if you want £1, come to me, I'll give that to you. If you want $1 million, your strategy is going to be different and your actions are going to be different. So make sure they're aligned. I've wasted too much time not aligning my goals and my strategy and my actions. Don't try and do everything. I'm going to get fit and I'm going to, we're going on date nights and I'm going to take this course and I'm going to do this. Work on the goal that makes the most sense to you, that will give you the most leverage. And if you don't know what it is, health. Because your physical and mental health are your biggest assets. Without them, you're nothing, absolutely nothing. So if you're not sure, work on your health. Small and consistent. So we talked about consistency. If your goal is to walk and you're really not feeling it that day, try and just put your shoes on and walk around the block. Because then you are fulfilling that truth to yourself, that promise to yourself. But if you feel like doing more, then do more, but show up, as he said. And it's not about doing what's more, because when we're trying to do more and being more productive, this is where that burnout happens. It's about doing the right thing that is going to get you to where you want to get to. And as long as you are in line, and you'll feel it when you're not in line. And when you're in alignment, you will feel the difference. Step 3, all right, so set yourself up for success because it's not easy. I've made it sound glorious and it is glorious. And like I said, I'm happy, but it's hard work. Number 1, be grateful. If you're not grateful for what you have, why would any more matter? What difference would it make? And in real honesty, if you are waking up in a warm bed with a roof over your head, with access to warm running water, you're winning. The world the way it is now, appreciate what you have. And when you appreciate what you have, you'll get more of it, without fail. Be optimistic. If you're going to get out of bed and say, oh, same old, oh, don't do it, because you're not going to take action. You've got to feel that today will be better than yesterday. Only then will you make the effort of becoming someone different. And that's what you are doing. You're changing your life. You're changing what you do. And that takes work, which leads me to this next bit. And I think one of you touched on it as well. Beware of everyone online that is saying, do it this way. And if you do it this way, next month you'll be a millionaire. It doesn't work. And also, all of those blueprints, they're not you. I love self-help books, but unfortunately, most of them are written by people who have a very set routine. I've not found a book that tells me what to do when my kid's sick and the family turn up and there's a disaster. There is no chapter like that. So really take the advice, but make sure that you frame it in your own world. Don't unprioritize the non-negotiables. These things, like when you get really busy, you say, okay, I'm not going to eat, or I'm not going to spend time with my family. This is the stuff that will give you energy, not the other way around. This is the stuff that you mold the rest of your life around. Don't try and shoehorn this important stuff into your life. It's not good. Build a team. Who's going to cheer you on? Who's going to coach you? Who's going to mentor you? Who's going to guide you? Don't try and reinvent everything. There are people out there that can help you, and use your circle of people to keep you motivated. This one people don't do enough, especially women, I'm sorry. Acknowledge your achievements every single day, even if it means I survived. Write it on a piece of paper. This is a win jar. Get a glass jar, put it by your bedside table, and every night write down one win. End of January, empty out, well, I started in January. End of the month, empty it out, read it, feel good, put it in the January envelope. Do it in February, March, so on and so forth. New Year's Eve, gosh, what a great evening you're going to have going through all of it. And I love this saying, and it's mine, a win a day keeps the imposter away. I want you to picture yourself living the life that you want to live. What is one thing you could do this week that would help you get there? Write it down, go and do it. And I love this quote by Simon Alexander Ong, and he said it in a podcast, I don't know if it's in a book. How much longer are you going to avoid what you are capable of doing in order to continue with what you are comfortable of doing? That hit me when I first heard it. So start your journey, and a great step, download the Ikigai, figure out who you are, where your strengths are, what you want to do, and have fun. Always have fun. Thank you.